Hey everybody, KC here. So I was reading an article on the website of the American Institute for Economic Research. Not a website I ordinarily read. Sometimes I amaze myself by the stuff I'm looking at online. Anyway, this particular article was basically in praise of bourgeois virtues. And I found that an interesting turn of the phrase. So I was reading more about it. And basically what it said is bourgeois virtues are basically a blend of 4 pagan virtues and 3 basically Christian virtues, or virtues that people would consider to be simpatico with Christianity. And it went sort of like this. The pagan virtues are prudence, as in the prudence to buy low and sell high. Keep in mind, this is the American Institute for Economic Research. But it's also the prudence to trade rather than invade, to calculate the consequences, to pursue the good with competence. I like that. And there's temperance, which means to save and accumulate, but also the temperance to educate oneself in business and in life, to listen to the customer, to resist the temptations to cheat, to ask quietly whether there might be a compromise here. And there's justice, which means to pay willingly for good work, to honor labor, to break down privilege, to value people for what they can do rather than for who they are, to view success without envy. Basically said the kind of virtue that has been making capitalism work since 1776. And then there's courage. Courage to venture on new ways of business, but also the courage to overcome the fear of change, to bear defeat unto bankruptcy, to be courteous to new ideas, to wake up the next morning and face fresh work with cheer. Those all sound pretty good, right? And then there's the 3 Christian virtues. Love. To take care of one's own, yes, but it's also a bourgeois love to care for employees and partners and colleagues and customers and fellow citizens. To wish all of humankind well, to seek God, finding human and transcendent connection in the marketplace. Another is faith. To honor one's community of business, but it's also the faith to build monuments to the glorious past, to sustain traditions of commerce, of learning. And finally, there's hope. To imagine a better machine, but also the hope to see the future as something other than stagnation or eternal recurrence, to infuse the day's work with purpose, seeing one's labor as a glorious calling. I gotta be honest with you, I never thought of myself as holding bourgeois virtues, but go figure, I kind of do. You know, the interesting thing about this article, and keep in mind it is the American Institute for Economic Research, is that it is entitled Jimmy Buffett and the Bourgeois Virtues. And the premise is that he did too, not just in his work, not just in the way he approached life, but also in his songs, that they are replete with the bourgeois virtues. Basically, I think it actually comes down to this. You can be a good business person and you can run a good business by looking outward and not inward, thinking always about employees and customers, consequences and innovation, and understanding that while the bottom line is an important measurement, it's not the only measurement. And if that's what it means to hold on to bourgeois virtues, well, sign me up. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.